My name's Tim Nelson, and I'm here with Nathan Eckel today. And we're here to talk about Chapter 3 of the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. Nathan and I discovered this book a couple months ago, and we really felt that talking about this book in our webinar would really be beneficial to just about anybody who heard the webinar, but mostly in our attempts to help people find work that they're interested in and the work that they love, and also helping people in the jobs that they're working in right now. We're in Chapter 3, which has a lot of content to it, but a lot of really good ideas. So before we go any farther, let's let Nathan say hello to us.
All right. Hi, Tim, and I got my book right here. I'm really excited everybody's joining us for Chapter 3.
That's great, Nathan. I got my book here too. I just love holding this book because it's got so much in it. And so, without any further ado, Nathan, why don't you go ahead and start sharing some of this information with us?
Okay, thanks, Tim. So, like Tim said, everybody, we've got a lot of content, and we're trying to keep these webinar episodes down to about 10 minutes or so. So we're going to just kind of fly through this, but we want to cut it in a proper context. So everything that we're talking about here today, we're going from pain to power, and this is where things get really empowering. And the thing I love, I'll just say this, Tim, you probably feel the same way. I love in the book, there are a number of job aids and visual references that kind of show little spatial relationships between being in the back seat of the bus with an external locus of control and feeling powerless, and being in the driver's seat and being on the path to taking charge in our lives. So here's what we're going to talk about. A little bit about fear. Susan Jeffers has a fear vocabulary, which is awesome. She has a pain to power chart. She talks about pitfalls to watch out for, and then she has more exercises that you can actually do. I'm wondering, before we move on, how many people actually started saying their mantra or their fear exercises already? I hope you do, because it's going to set you even farther in as you walk up the school bus, so to speak, to take charge of the steering wheel, and you'll see that picture very soon. So, and I'm going to give you permission, Tim, to just kind of hurry me up as we're going through the content so that we get us in here. Now, we all know the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. However, the big point in this chapter is that fear really isn't the problem. It's, as FDR said, the fear, to kind of summarize a little. So it's how we think about fear, or how we hold fear in that inner state or that external locus of control, that is the big problem. We want to confront fear with strength and care on the inside. And so how we proactively respond to the different situations in life, that makes all the difference in taking control of our lives. Tim, I think we identified in the last section about the different fears, and it was the paralysis that fear can cause that is really the problem. And when we take action, even if we feel too much or we think too much, if we're that kind of a personality, if we choose to be like the action-oriented people, we can take charge of fear and we can break out of it.
Yes, I go along with you on that. We're the ones who can take control of it. Yes. Absolutely.
So if we're going to move from pain over here to power over here, or pain meaning the end of the school bus and the back seat going where we don't want to go, to power meaning we're in between, behind the steering wheel, we need to change the way we think and to change the words that we use when we speak. So Dr. Jeffers lays that out for us. So we've got pain all the way over here, and then we got power here, and the words that we use make all the difference. Here's what I mean. We're going to go bang, bang, bang through this. I can't. That's a pain word. That's a back of the school bus word. I can't do it. I can't feel that way. I don't think I can pay for it. Well, the powerful word is what, Tim?
I won't. And that's an act of the will.
Yeah.
That's us talking from inside. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do this. It's not something from the outside.
Mm-hmm. And that's that internal locus of control. I have a choice. I might make the same decision, but it's because I'm choosing proactively instead of feeling like I don't have a choice reactively. So I hope everybody understands how important and empowering this is. Here's a few more words, and we're going to get through this really quick now that we talked about the principle. I should, or, Tim?
I could.
Yeah.
And I could means, it really means I can. I could, and it opens up our world to all sorts of possibilities of taking control of the situation.
Outstanding. So I think we're starting to get the picture of it right now. Here's another one. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Well, the other one is I'm totally responsible. And that takes responsibility, and that, you know, if I'm at fault or if I'm standing up and taking the hit for somebody else under me or whatever, it's a more proactive way to go. Here's another one. It's a problem or it's an opportunity. Totally different way to look at life. Which one is going to lead to a more happy ending or maybe good things coming out of the bad? Probably if you view it as an opportunity instead of a problem, even though it's the same thing. Another one, I'm never satisfied. Hard way to get a win out of that. Or I want to learn and grow. Same situation, different way to look at it. Here's another one. Life's a struggle or life's an adventure. Which is more fun? Having a struggle or having an adventure? Well, for those of us that have been to Costa Rica, like my wife was able to take me over to Costa Rica and show me the ropes, well, it's fun to have life as an adventure, even though there are a lot of struggles, like driving in a third world country. Here's a couple other ones. I hope versus I know. Hope is faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love. It's a great fruit and it's a great trait. But in terms of taking control of our lives and empowering ourselves, sometimes it's good to say, I know this will happen, instead of I just hope, if that makes sense. And I don't want to step on anybody too much, but there's more of an empowering word there. If only, and I love this, if only, that looks in the rearview mirror, but next time, that's looking ahead and that's creating possibilities. Next time, I'm going to do it this way. It's beautiful. What will I do? What will I do? What will I do? Or I know I can handle it. I think it's beautiful. And then it's terrible or it's a learning experience. If something's terrible, it's terrifying you. And a lot of times we use that word for things that really aren't terrifying. We just use that word. It's a learning experience. And here's the school bus. Tim, I'm out of words right now. Can you give us a quick review of the school bus as we move ahead, and then we'll move forward for that?
The school bus is our symbol for internal and external locus of control. When we live in a state of external locus of control, it's as though we're sitting in the back of the bus, letting the driver and everything else control our world, and we just end up where the bus stops. When we're exhibiting internal locus of control, we're driving the bus. We decide where we're headed, and things aren't going to get in our way. And if they do, we make sure that good possibilities and opportunities come out of that. And we take the responsibility for moving ahead in our lives.
Yeah, well put, Tim. So here's where this comes play. If we are, I guess spatially, if you look at the first word, we're talking about the back of the bus, but helplessness is when you're in the back of the bus, but choice is when you're in that driver's seat, right there in the front. That's where we're going when we use these words. Same thing, paralysis, we're paralyzed in that back of the bus, but When we take action to get behind the driver's seat and take that steering wheel and proactively steer. And then the other thing is, depression is something that shackles us in the back as a passenger, but excitement can be something that energizes us to take action and be proactive. So those are a couple of little things. She also has a little part in the book that she says is especially for women. Tim, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I thought, you know what, I can use this. I'm a red-blooded man, if you know what I mean, but I can use this just as much as any woman can.
Oh, I go along with you on that. Yeah.
Yep. So she said love and power go together, and I think that there's kind of a double standard for women. I think this is why she put that in there with the women pointing it out. Love and power go together, and I think a lot of working women, at the risk of putting some words in her mouth, I think what she's saying is in the working world, a lot of women have to feel like they have to be really tough, meaning really mean and nasty to get ahead in the working world. And her argument is that love and power go together. So that's very important. Here's another mantra that we see. Here it is. And I thought, this is where I said, hey, well, I'm a man, but I think this could work for me too. So I've been saying my little mantra here. I am powerful and I am loved. I am powerful and I am loving. And I am powerful and I just love it. So that's something for all the women out there. Take it, but for the men out there, I mean, grab it too. All right. Now, here's the next thing, and we've got so much content here, we're going to just kind of breeze through from here on out, but she talks about a pain to power chart, and you've got pain, and then you're moving little by little baby steps into power, and these words that we use a lot about that. So we've got a multi-step process. So she says, put this graphic on your wall. You could even print this out, do a screenshot of this webinar right here, print it out. This is going to create awareness, and that is half the battle. She has this little pithy saying that honestly doesn't really do it for me, but she has it there, and it's nice. And if that works for you, that's wonderful. About the angels take themselves lightly. That's great. Number 3, she says, put a pin to mark where you feel like you are right now on the pain to power chart. So if I'm feeling in pain and I'm feeling like I don't have the resources to take action, I'm pretty far down towards pain. But then what you're going to do every day, you're going to say, where have I moved to? And maybe you're halfway. You're having a good day and you jumped all the way halfway to power. That's great. Put the pin there. Then in everyday decisions, this is really, really important. Ask yourself this question right here. Is this action moving me to a more powerful place? That's great. And you know what? If you made a bad mistake, you've already made a mistake that made you kind of backslide towards pain, that's okay. Don't whip yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It's all about awareness, and it's a learning experience. Good. It can be fun. That's why she did all of that. And then you can make a different chart. You could do a dating pain to power chart, or you could do a relationship for your friends, or you could do career, or you could do finances, different areas of your life. Now, a couple of pitfalls, and then I think then we have exercises, and then we're going to wrap up. Anything that you want to say about what we talked about or about pitfalls before we move on, Tim?
No, I think it's just good to be aware of these things, and if we find ourselves hesitating and things like that, maybe go back to the list and see if one of these things is one of the things that's keeping us from moving ahead, and just give it, just work with it and move ahead.
Absolutely. So great. Let's review a couple of pitfalls as we're doing a pain to power chart. And things like that. I think we talked about this in the vocabulary, lack of control versus the power of choice, should versus could. You want to use should. You want to use the right terminology. And you also want to watch out that you don't blame external situations or blame other people for your response. You want to respond the right way no matter what is out there, and view yourself as the master of your decision to react rightly or not as proactively. Whether it's a problem or an opportunity, keep that terminology towards proactive opportunities. I hope versus I know. Same thing, if only or next time. Okay, now, a couple of exercises as we close down here. Do something every day that's going to expand your comfort zone, and that's going to make you more proactive in the school bus there. Here's another suggestion. You can buy something for those of us that are real tightwads like me. You can buy something that costs more than what you usually pay. That takes you out of comfort zone. You can ask for something. I don't do this very much. I don't like to ask for some reason, but she's saying ask for something you're afraid to ask for. Talk to someone who's intimidating to you. That's a great idea also. And then finally, this is our little list of resources page. Tim, back over to you.
Thanks, Nathan. Boy, we really got through a lot of content there today, and there's so much there. And thank you for presenting that, and thank you for presenting it so well. That brings us to the end of our webinar today, and we thank everyone for joining us. And on behalf of Nathan and myself, we hope to see you back here soon for Chapter 4.